Hi everyone, today I want to show you how to use Holistics and AQL in particular to calculate the percent of total metric. The percent of total analysis is a useful technique to understand the contribution of each value with regards to the overall population. So let's say that you run an e-commerce store. You have a set of cities. You want to calculate the total order for each city. You want to calculate the total order across all cities. And you want to calculate the percent of total metric, which is just this metric divided by this metric. So this is the end result that we're looking to produce today. So let me just remove all of this so that we can get started from scratch. I want to start by dragging and dropping the name of the city into Exploration UI so that we can list out all the cities in our database. Next, I want to calculate the total order for each city. So I can write something like count distinct, and I will count the order ID in the order item model. So as you can see here, the total order metric is being grouped by the city names. So this is why I dragged and dropped the city name field in the Exploration UI earlier, because we want this metric to be grouped by cities. For the next metric, total order across all cities, we don't want this to happen. So we don't want it to be grouped by the city names. We want to calculate the total order across all metric, across all the items. So how can we do that? Let me write an expression first, and then we will see how it works later. I will still count the order ID of this model, but I will use the of all function. Now the of all function here is essentially telling AQL to evaluate this count distinct expression at the grade that we specify, which is this model. So without this of all function, this expression will be grouped by city names. As you recall earlier, we don't want that to happen. We don't want it to be grouped by city names. We want this calculation to be across all city names, across all the items in order items. So we want it to be independent from the city names. So that's why we're using the of all function here. So let's call this total order across all. Yeah, so the total across all metric is now being grouped by the city names. The results are consistent across rows. So this is how you know that it's not being grouped by the city name. So this is what we want. And next, to calculate the percent of total metric, simply just take the total order and divide it by the total order across all. I will multiply this by 1.0 to turn it into a float. This is just a trick with AQL to calculate percentages. And here I will use the of all function. So we have the total order metric here. This will be grouped by the city names. We have the total order across all cities. So this will not be grouped by city names because we're using the of all function here. So I will name this percent of total, and it should work. Yeah, the number looks kind of ugly, so you can go to the format tab here and choose an appropriate format. In this case, it is percentage. Yeah, the result looks correct. So this is how you can use Holistics and AQL in particular to calculate the percent of total metric. Hopefully this has been useful. Thank you.